The Holocaust was a horrific period in human history. Millions of innocent people were murdered by the Nazi regime. The survivors carry the scars of this tragedy. They continue to seek justice and accountability for the crimes committed against them and their loved ones. Their fight for recognition and redress is a testament to the enduring human spirit. It is a reminder that the wounds of the past can cast a long shadow. The Holocaust was a systematic and barbaric attempt to exterminate an entire people. The world vowed never again. Yet the echoes of this genocide still reverberate today. The fight for justice is a marathon, not a sprint. A group of Holocaust survivors has taken their fight for justice to the U.S. courts. They are suing the Hungarian government. The lawsuit alleges that Hungary was complicit in the confiscation of their property during the Holocaust. The survivors are seeking restitution for their losses. The case has made its way to the Supreme Court. The court's decision could have significant implications for international law. It could also impact the ability of Holocaust survivors to seek justice in U.S. courts. The survivors argue that the Hungarian government was an active participant in the Nazi regime's persecution of Jews. They claim that the government confiscated their property and deported them to concentration camps. The Supreme Court is grappling with complex legal questions in this case. One key issue is jurisdiction. The court must determine whether the U.S. courts have the authority to hear a case against a foreign government. This is a matter of international law and diplomatic relations. The conservative majority on the court has expressed skepticism about U.S. courts intervening in foreign affairs. They argue that such cases could strain diplomatic ties. They also worry about setting a precedent for similar lawsuits against other countries. The court's decision will likely have lasting consequences. It could shape the future of international litigation in U.S. courts. Section 4. Voices of the survivors, seeking redress, demanding justice. The Holocaust survivors involved in this case are elderly. Time is of the essence for them. They are determined to have their day in court. They believe that the U.S. legal system can provide them with justice that has eluded them for decades. Their legal team argues that international law supports their claims. They point to treaties and conventions that obligate countries to provide redress for human rights violations. They contend that the U.S., as a global leader in human rights, has a moral obligation to provide a forum for these survivors to seek justice. The survivors' stories are harrowing. They serve as a reminder of the human cost of the Holocaust. Their fight for justice is a testament to their resilience and their unwavering belief in the power of the law. Section 5. A balancing act, justice versus sovereignty. The Supreme Court faces a delicate balancing act. On one hand, the court must uphold the principles of international law and respect the sovereignty of foreign nations. On the other hand, the court must consider the unique circumstances of the Holocaust and the rights of survivors to seek redress for the atrocities they endured. There are strong arguments on both sides. The court's decision will likely come down to its interpretation of the law and its assessment of the potential consequences of its ruling. The case highlights the complexities of international law and the challenges of seeking justice for past atrocities. Section 6. International implications, setting precedents. The Supreme Court's decision in this case could have far-reaching implications. A ruling in favor of the survivors could encourage other Holocaust survivors to pursue legal action in U.S. courts. It could also set a precedent for victims of other atrocities to seek redress in foreign courts. Conversely, a ruling against the survivors could make it more difficult for victims of human rights abuses to seek justice across borders. It could also embolden states that have committed human rights violations to resist accountability. The international community is watching this case closely. The court's decision could impact the future of international human rights law. Section 7. Conclusion: the long shadow of history. The Holocaust was a watershed moment in human history. It forced the world to confront the depths of human depravity. It also led to the creation of international legal frameworks designed to prevent and punish genocide and other crimes against humanity. The case before the Supreme Court is a reminder that the legacy of the Holocaust is still with us. It highlights the ongoing struggle to balance competing interests of international law, foreign policy, and human rights. As we grapple with the complex issues raised by this case, we must never forget the lessons of the Holocaust. we must remain vigilant in our defense of human rights and our pursuit of justice.